Hello everyone, Alberg here. We're going to do some random task selection code today. So I'm going to write some code that's going to look at a sheet and then randomly select from what's on the sheet. And we'll build this out, so it's going to take a little while, so let's get going. So first thing I want to do is I want to create a new, well, let's see, in case I have it here, random. Let's see what comes up if I press random. Nothing. Okay, so we don't have anything. So let's call it random select. And we're going to add a new subroutine called random select. So let's now, one of the things I want to do is I want to be able to random select. If I filter, I want the random select to work. So it's one of my requirements. It's probably a little easier to do it without the random select, but we're going to do it with it. So let's go to the Excel window, Alt F11. Random select. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get how many items we have. So the way you could do that with a filter is with the subtotal. And let's just put that down here. We'll say subtotal. And we could see count A is the one we want, 3. And let's just say it's going to be B, but I can't put B here because if I put B, it'll cause a circular reference, just to show you that. Okay, so that didn't work, so let's move it. I cut it, Control X, Control V, paste it, and we have 7 items. And let's unfilter and just show and we have 67 items now. So that shows you that it works. So the code is this. I'll cut that out. Control X, Enter, Alt F11, paste that in. So now one of the things to do is, how do you execute this in VBA? There's a few ways. I'm going to use brackets. Oh, I got to update that in my I've been working on a sheet to do special characters, so let's fix that. This is all going on another screen. Special characters. We'll open it. Okay, we'll pull this out here. Here it is. So the character that, and I'm doing Windows key left arrow, is I didn't include this bracket. So I've been documenting all the different special characters, and here's brackets, so I'm missing it from there. And this is my listy software. We edit the comment and find the bracket, which is here. Need a space right there. We can put a star to get a list item, and we'll copy this. Like that. We'll put a equals, something like that. And put that there. And we'll save it. Okay. You should be able to go to this and see it. And it would be nice if this was in Google. And I will make a video of the special characters in Excel. So that's a video to do. Okay, so let's continue with this. So we could use A as a variable. Let's go back to home. And let's see what's in A. I press Control G. Oh, no, did I? I'm not sure. So we have 7 items. So we're also going to use the random between. And we want to do a random between what and what. So that's a little tricky. And there's actually less than 7 items because we have a header. And we have a start also. So that's a little tricky of where to start and where the header is. So I'm going to, for now, probably ignore that. So if we want to get a random number is equal to, we could say equal rand between, and let's say 1 and, now I'd like to put that 7 in there, but for now I'm just going to put it that way and see if that works. Control F9, and we got a random number of Shift F9, 6. So that looks like it's working, and we could even add the code here to say cells Now we need the row here, so we're going to say RN, row column. So it's going to select it here because that's our active cell, but let's go back. Control F9, F8, and there you go. So it selected 6. So now it's a problem because now I'm selecting relative, so I do need to count items here. So this is a little tricky. So what's the 7th filtered item? So this doesn't work. This, we want to change this to the active cell, so let's try that. Let's say this column. I don't have that code. I have column letter. I do have that. And we'll say the active cell column. Now, one of the things you can't do is with the brackets, you just have to have a hard-coded formula. I can't, at least I'm not aware of how to modify that. So we have to do application evaluate, which also will, we can show you that this works. It's actually a little bit more complicated, but when you have variables, you need to use this. Press the freaking parenthesis. There it is. It's actually dark right now. I can't see my keyboard. So let's do this again. I'm going to Control G, A equals 0, print A. You see it's 0. Come up here. I could have pressed code So if I wanted to go back to the code window, I could press F7, which I just did. And we're going to do F8. And let's see what A is. So A is 7. So again, so it looks like that code's working. But now we want to modify this. And we're going to do S column, colon, S column, and the parenthesis. Now one of the things you might want to check is, before I run this, is see if this is correct. So we're going to copy that to the clipboard, Control C, and we're going to print that and see what comes out. So we have subtotal. You can see it's not right because I didn't execute this yet. So let's put this here. Alt tab to come back here. Control F9. I'm pressing Shift F8, just a habit, and let's see if it's better here. Shift F9. We do have B, and let's print it again. So that looks much better. Subtotal 3BB. Let's evaluate it, see what we get. You can hover sometimes. I don't know why it's not working. Do Shift 9. So we get 7. We're going to get a random number. Okay, so now here we need to do the same thing. We need to say application dot evaluate. Get rid of that. And we want to use A here. So now we have, we're going to get a random number between 1 and A, whatever A is. And let's just check this. You'd also paste these formulas into Excel, just to make sure they work. Random between 1 and 7, so that looks like it's working. We'll get a random number. Okay, so we got a 3, so we can't do this. This is not going to work, but we can put a for loop in. So we're going to count. We're going to go down each one. We're going to go from the top down 3 times. And the way we do that, and again, I know this from a lot of practice on how to do these things. And so we're going to say for I equals 1, 2. I'm hearing somebody's up in my house. 1 to A. And we want to test if the row is visible and is hidden. Else and if. Okay, so if the row is hidden, row I is hidden, so it's going to start at 1, which is up here. And we really don't want it to start. Actually, we don't even want to do this. We want to say do and loop. And we want to say I equals I plus 1. So if the row is hidden, we don't do anything, right? If the row is visible, we want to I'm going to try this. I'm going to subtract 1 from the random number, And we're going to say we do while rn greater than 0. So we're going to try that. And we're going to put a select here. Equals 0. Put it here, and let's try it. So first we're going to check that we don't have any syntax errors. We seem okay. And let's run this. So we're only working on filtered lists, so we're going to say, and you know, I want to say or I is less than 2. Now this is not going to work for everything. But that should get me past where I want to go. So let's go back and try this one. So let's see what our random number is. So we've got a random number of 4. Just come back here. So I should be 1, which is the row we're checking. Jesus. So if the row is hidden, which it's not, or it's less than 2, which it is, we're going to skip it. So let's try that. And it skips it. Rn is still not less than 0. We add 1. Now this code could have a problem if Rn never goes to 0. So row 2, same. Oh. So I is 2. So 2 is not less than 2, so we're going to have to change that to 3. Try that again. Okay, so that's better. So now we should be on row 3. Which we are. And now 3 is hidden, so we're going to skip this one too. So okay, so here's the first time we get something. So I is 4. It's not hidden, and it's not less than 3, so we should come through here. So we're going to subtract 1 from random number, which was, looks like it was 4. We're going to get, so random number is now 3, as you can see, and we're going to select that one, which we don't have to do. What we're going to do is at the end, this will slow down the code, but I'm just to show you. Next one is also good, so we come down 1, we go to the next one, so that's the second one, that's the third one, and we should stop at the next one. 4. And Rn should be 0 at this point. Let's see what it is. And it is. So we're only going to do this loop while Rn is greater than 0. It's equal to 0, which means that's false. The do while will do the loop as long as the condition is true. So it's going to do the test now, and it exits. And then here we have, so this is wrong. We want to do I, which should stay where it is. And it does. Okay, so we can get rid of this one, and you can get rid of code 2 ways. You can just select it and delete it, or you can put a comment on it. So let's get rid of that. F8. And let's try it again. So now we have a random select routine. Now we're going to put this as part of the code we just wrote, so this way when I do Control-Shift-R, I like that because R has the starts with random. It'll do two things. If it's on a link on two different sheets, it'll in two specific cases it'll just go to the place. Otherwise, it's going to find me the random thing. So it might not be what I want to do exactly. I might want to separate the two functions. And let's run it again. Okay, cut pushes. You see it's moving around. So this is interesting. Why did this one come up? Because it's not hidden. And this is home ribbon lesson, which I didn't really want. So that's an example. Let's finish the code now. So we got to put this random select as a part of the this one. Nope, not this one. Handle enter key. Now I called it handle enter key. I wanted to press enter and go somewhere, but I was having trouble doing that. I just didn't seem to have a way to capture the enter key event. Now there may be a way, I don't know it right now. So this is like a case where, and look, we have it here right here. So on Plan 3 this is not going to work. On Organized Excel this is not going to work. But other sheets. So let's try, let's just say that this is Control plus Shift plus R. So let's go to Plan 3 sheet, and we're here. Now Plan 3 sheet has, if I do Control Shift R here, it's going to go to the home, which you see it did. I'll do it here. So it looks like it's randomly selecting. Oh, that was interesting. That okay, so there's a bug, looks like. So let's see if we could debug this. So once in a while the R is coming off here, and for some reason, let's see if we can figure out why. Oh, I'm gonna guess that, I'm not sure. Okay, so the problem is that I am probably counting these two. And I have to count from B3 to the end. Now, there's a problem. If I just assume there's two, it's not always two, so it won't work there. So I'm going to actually have to use B3 through B whatever. And if you do Shift F2, you go right to the routine you selected. So we could say B3 through not sure if this is right, but let's run it. Control Shift R. Okay, so it's looking like it's random-y. The only thing I wanted to check out was this here. And let's look at what we got here. And that looks like it's working. So there could be a bug here. I find sometimes you don't get every possible case, but it looks like Control-Shift-R will allow us to randomly select. So we're going to go to the Help, Control-Shift-H, and it doesn't like that because we are in break mode. Stop that. Control-Shift-H, and go to the link, Random Select. And that's all I have right now. We'll continue the training in the next lesson. Thanks for watching. We'll see you real soon.